Hello everybody, in this video we're going to be learning about 3 different types of primitive variable types and how they're declared and initialized in Java, so stay tuned. If you're continuing to work along with me, what I've done so far is I've created a project called number3 primitives and placed that in my notes folder. Now, I created a new class called primitives in BlueJ and then erased all the data inside. I wrote up public class primitives, public static void main for the main method, and now I'm ready to get started declaring and initializing my primitive values. When you're learning Java, there are 3 main data types you should focus on. The one is integers, which hold whole numbers like 7. And then there are floating decimals, like doubles, that holds numbers like pi or 3.14. And then there are booleans, which only hold true or false, and this is how they're declared and initialized. You go boolean, and this one I'm going to call isBoo. I like using questions for booleans because it makes more sense to me, because when you initialize the boolean, it answers the question. And I'm going to say true. So this may not make much sense to you. So imagine for a second you have 3 cups of different sizes. The cups represent the different sizes of memory you need to allocate or set aside for the variable that you're putting in there. The smallest size is a boolean because it can only hold 2 values and it doesn't take up that much space in memory. The medium size is an int, which holds integers. This cup requires a little bit more space because it can hold many more values. Basically, negative 2 billion to positive 2 billion. You can store any of those values in there. And once you get to the end, it pretty much just rotates back to the negative value again. Then there are large size, which is a double, which can hold real numbers or numbers containing decimals. When I say I'm declaring a variable type, I'm just reserving a specific amount of space in memory for that variable, or assigning the size of the cup and giving that cup a name. Now let's go ahead and initialize our variables. Let's start with the boolean. When we declare the type of boolean, it's just like giving the cup a name of boolean. And when we initialize it, it's like putting true inside of that cup. With integers or ints, it's the same thing. You declare it just like you would a boolean. Let's go ahead and name this one num and initialize it to a value of 7. And finally, for doubles, let's go ahead and declare the variable name pi and go ahead and set it equal to the value pi, or 3.14. Now let's go ahead and print those values we just created, and all you have to do is use system.out.println, which creates a new line after this is done, and you say something like my integer is num, and then add another plus sign and put a period. Or you could say my floating point value is pi, and then put a period at the end. And this is called concatenating strings, and we'll get more into that when we get to strings. And then finally, is my value a boolean, my final value? And yes, it is true. And that's it. That's all you have to do. So what you should try to do next is create your favorite numbers or your favorite values, or create your own boolean values or your own doubles, your own ints, and try this out. The only way you learn how to code is by coding. And the only way you memorize how to code is, again, by coding. So go ahead and get started, have fun, and I hope you enjoyed this video.